Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks. Today, I'm going to give you the rest of the week that was in pro wrestling. That's going to be NWA Power and MLW Fusion. Two very interesting episodes, I'd say, to say the least. So, we're going to start it off with NWA Power. And let's get into this one. Start off, very interesting matchup. We got Tom Latimer taking on El Dragon Neon. And the Dragon is being managed by Brandon McCord, because he's in the collective now, I guess. Before the bell, Tom Latimer attacks Dragon, which I didn't see that coming. What I will say is, I think this is Dragon Neon's best match. Not to say he's had a bad one, but I feel like this was the most involved he's been. They got some great chemistry, I guess, with working as a tag team. It definitely helped. One point after a big old crossbody from Latimer from the top rope, Brandon McCord gets on the apron. He gets the referee's attention, but then he also gets Tom Latimer's attention. He eats. Then, all of a sudden, Dragon distracts the referee. McCord gets in doing, I don't know what he was about to do. Eats a Pride or Side of Suffering from Tom Latimer. But that leads to Dragon taking advantage with a big old choke slam, only for a 2 count. This brings out the rest of the McCord collection, so that's Alex Misery, the former Gags the Gimp, in which I forget his name going forward, but it's that, and Bones, as they're all checking on Brandon McCord, because he is apparently knocked out. After an attempted superplex by the big old Dragon, that gets blocked. Tom Latimer then just started biting the hand of El Dragon Neon. Then with a bell ringer, hits a big old powerbomb from the top rope, which that was amazing to pick up the win. So, nice opening matchup. I do wish there was a bit more to it, / less interference, unless that they're going to build to some team versus team match in the future. But yeah, that should be a fun one. Next we see Mike Mondo along with Aaron Stevens. He's getting ready for his match later on. Then we go to a Carson Drake experience with Lockjaw Drake and Buster. And this is interesting because this is the first time we hear Buster speak. And he's kind of got this weird, like, he kind of sounds like early Brock Lesnar when he cut his promos. Like, the catching of the throat, the high-pitched voice. It doesn't really match. But every time he does speak, Lockjaw just puts a finger to his mouth. And then every time, Drake's like, do I know you from somewhere? And then Buster's like, no, I'm brand new to the roster. I'm new. Then apparently Carson Drake reveals he's going to be in a number 1 contenders match next week, calling out his opponent, who I honestly forget who it is. So then, take a little break, come back. Thrillingly, Silas Mason is in the ring, looking honestly really good. He's got a big old trucker hat. He's got kind of a cut thing going. He looks really cool. Anyway, he says, I've been traveling this entire city trying to find Kerry Morton, but clearly he didn't show up today. When I get my hands on him, I'll make him as cross-eyed as his daddy. Which, that's quite the insult. he can finish it up saying, Kerry, you can run, but you can't hide from the thrill ride. Ending the interview, which, honestly, that's a great closing line. I love it. Honestly, I love everything Thrillbilly has. He can wrestle really well. He's got one heck of a personality. And while he is a bit of a yeller, kind of like Cena and Hulk Hogan, he doesn't feel like generic white meat babyface. He feels, I don't want to say deeper, but he does feel like there's more depth to his character. Then we get this pre-taped promo, I guess, from the Country Gentlemen. And apparently they're in France, which apparently is a green screen somewhere in the back, because that looked really fake. Although apparently they revealed they're in Amsterdam, in which Joe's like, same difference. And apparently they're going to be defending the tag titles tonight in Amsterdam, which we never see that match. Maybe they'll show a quick replay of it on next week's show. I'm not sure what's going on there. But then we get an interesting in the back promo from Ricky and Kerry Morton, with Ricky telling Kerry Thrillbilly's about to be sorry because he's going to get exactly what he asked for. Kerry takes over saying, when I get in the ring, the people out there love me. I'm going to make an example of Silas Mason next week. And Ricky, you're going to be my insurance policy. And picture this. Kerry Morton, the new NWA World Champion. We get a little smile out of Ricky. And that ends the segment. Which, honestly, I kind of dug that segment. It kind of felt like what I would get from a not likable heel. Like I saw that promo and I'm like, yeah, Thrillbilly's gonna kick his ass. Which is exactly what you want out of a feud like this. So, well done. Our next matchup, and yes, it has taken us this long to get to our next match. We have Axton Ray, kind of a newcomer to the NWA proper. I think he's been in some of the smaller territories. Is the first match back for one Kobe Carino, the Prince of Old School, back in action. Great to see. And Kobe has not missed a beat. He is still as good as advertised. And I'm going to say this. I feel like this match put Axton Ray at a level higher than where he currently was. Because Kobe definitely made him look good. Although he is good too, so. One point we see Axton Ray go for a big old body slam. Kobe slips out of it. Big old super kick, and then a brain buster, I believe it was, to pick up the win. Honestly, solid win. I would have liked to hear from Kobe post-match on how he's feeling. But honestly, again, that was one heck of a match. If you really like pro wrestling, I say go check this one out, because that was very entertaining. We got this weird backstage thing with the Pope, former D'Angelo De Niro, whatever he was in WWE, I forget what his name was, Mims, and then both members of the Light, which is two, masked guys. And Pope was bragging about his win last week, said that he did it all on his own. Well, coming up later tonight, you're going to do it against the Royal Court. And just like I made you believe, you're going to make them believe. So, we get kind of the entrance to this match. First, we have Trevor Murdoch and his Royal Court. So that's Mike Knox, Magic Jake, and God, who was the last guy? Tyler Franks, all in the ring. They're all in different garbs. And then we get the royal names for each of them. Which, honestly, I'll tell you that. Trevor Murdoch is a great storyteller. He's a very underrated promo. And speaking of promos, surprised this guy is in and coming to NWA. It's Effie. If you don't know who Effie is, he's been dealing on the indies for a while, including where he pretty much made his name in Game Changer Wrestling, which I definitely haven't watched in a while due to a certain spot I'm not going to go over. So Effie's saying, look, I've been yearning for a challenge for a while. So I'm walking into NWA. I'm taking on Kratos next week. And I'm going to show the world how wild I can get. So, yeah, very clear goal from Effie. Gonna be interesting to see how he fits in this promotion. Because, well, he's definitely more of an eccentric character. So we'll see how they handle him. Then we get a recap of the Hard Way beating the Slimeballs for the United States tag titles last week. Then we see the Slimeballs in the back. They keep blaming each other for the loss. Then they just start spitting on each other. Then they just start fighting. Like, legit. I thought, oh, they're going to break up the Slimeballs. Then they stop. Then like, whoa, 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 whoa. Look, the Hard Way have been champs long enough. Why don't we ask them if we can get them back, those titles back? And so they walk off. I am not sure what to make of this. If that's going to be this little brawl is going to be acknowledged at all, but that definitely was something. And we go to our semi-main event. Main event's coming a little later. We got 6-man tag team action. We have the Royal Court. So that's Trevor Murdoch, Mike Knox, and Tyler Franks taking on Mims and the Light. Now, during this match, we do get names for the Light, kind of. I think the ring announcers kind of gave them names. But I didn't get them, so I just put down Light 1 and Light 2. And I'm going to tell you, whoever's under those masks, they know what they're doing. Like, that was very entertaining back and forth. These two are very interesting stables. And they worked real well together. One point, we get a high-low from Mike Knox and Franks, which I didn't see that one coming. Then Murdoch tags in, hits the King's Landing, which is a big old DDT, to pick up the win for his team. So, yeah, we'll see where this one goes. Looks like, I don't know. What are we going to do with this group? Or either group? Gonna be interesting to find out. Next, go for a little backstage promo from Brian Idol, saying how much he's looking forward to this next matchup. And Mondo, you interrupted my training and told me I didn't have what it takes. All I heard was your mouth writing a check your body can't catch. So, I definitely like that. So now we're going to our main event for the NWA National title. You got Brian Idol challenging Mike Mondo. And oh boy, they threw haymakers at one another during this match. This was a hard-hitting affair, and while Idol was at a disadvantage due to his size, he really hung in there with Mike Mondo. I really enjoyed this matchup. One point Mondo... No, it was... finish kind of comes after a super kick from Idol. Moonsault try whiffs. Mondo tries for a diving headbutt. Idol gets his knees up, roll up for a 2. He hits a neck breaker for a 2 count. Goes for an unprettier, or a kill shot, or whatever you want to call it. That gets blocked by a rising knee strike. Mondo goes for a gut check time. That gets blocked right into a roll up from Idol. And your winner, and the new national champion, Brian Idol. Great way to finish the show. Although, post-match, we have Slade roll in, and he and Mike Mondo just destroy Brian Idol, including a big old double DDT onto the national title. Then Slade and Mondo push the referee into the corner, rip off his belt, like the one holding up his pants, and start whipping Idol with it. Then as Idol rolls to the floor, his mom comes out of nowhere, starts kind of checking on him. Then Mondo just straight up pushes her into the crowd to finish the show. Mondo's taking this personally, and I don't think this feud is over, in which I'm kind of okay with it. Like, normally when a feud goes a little too long, I'd be a little against it. Here, I'm kind of okay with it. As long as it doesn't go too long. So, that's just me. So that was NWA Power. A really, really good episode. If you want to check it out now, it's on demand on Comet. So, I think you can go check it out. My only negative for now is that there was a real lack of women's representation on this show. I'm not saying I need 45 women's matches. Give me a promo from somebody setting something up. Give me an interaction backstage or something. Definitely got a little bit more of that on Fusion, although I'll get there. So now we're moving into MLW Fusion territory. And we start off the weirdest way I think I've seen possible. A battle royal. Just like a random battle royal. I don't know where this came from, but here we are. Our participants in this battle royal. Andrew Everett. Guy I could have sworn was still a free agent. I'm not sure. Manny Lowe, another DPW veteran. Flip Sequoia, who I have never heard of. Like, seeing that guy for the first time, and honestly, I was impressed. CJ Gallows, and yes, that is Doc Gallows' kid. So seeing him in this match is interesting. LeBron Cozone working double duty, because he's got a singles match a little later on. We'll talk about that a little later. Azteca Minion number 44. This is one of, I guess, hundreds of, now the former GM's minions. He's got, like, the red mask and then the suit on. Diego Hill. Definitely been a long time since I've seen Diego Hill. Glad to see him back on TV. Representing Contra Unit, you got Akira Okwan and Okumura. Then you got the guy who's been having hype videos for weeks now, the debuting Jumbo, which yeah, that's definitely an impressive looking dude. Representing the Gallus Boys on top, we got Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. And now, Jesus Rodriguez came out last. I was thinking, oh, he's going to be in this match. I typed it. If you don't know who this is Alberto Del Rio's former ring announcer. And he introduces Don Gato. Which, dang. Yeah, this was absolute madness. I couldn't keep a track of half of what was going on. But it finished exactly how it should have, with your winner being Jumbo. So, definitely going to be interesting to see where he ends up in all of this. But as he's celebrating, we get the Contra screen glitch. So it does seem like Jumbo is on Contra's radar. Then we get announced that Austin Aries and Averno are going to be having a match next week. Then we get a pre-recorded Joseph Samael promo saying MLW grew soft, I grew stronger, Contra's been in the shadows this entire time, you should be kneeling at my feet, Contra is the truth, Contra is real, hail Contra. So, kind of a little bit of nothing, but, you know, I get the message. Then we see, like, these random faces that I don't think I've ever seen before, except for a couple of the last guys who worked for Atlas Security, who used to work the 2300 arena for ECW. So those guys are here, so does seem like that's when the announcer announces, oh, MLW has up security now. Which, alright. Cool, I guess. What is going on here? Oh. Then we get to, honestly, one of the most underrated matches I think I've seen in a while. We got Joe Coffey of the Gallus Boys on top taking on LeBron Cozone. And these two had one of the better matches of the weekend. Like, these two were great, absolutely great together. They countered pretty much everything they had on each other. Cozone hits a Balor Bomb, only gets a 2 count. At that point, Wolfgang and Joe Coffey come out, distract Cozone. Mark with Joe with a roll up to pick up the win. So while this is Cozone's first loss in MLW, I don't think it's going to affect him that much. I think it's going to be like I don't know what it'll be like. I'm not sure. But I think overall the plan is to put over Cozone. Then we had highlights from the Cross Kojima World Title match from last week, which loved that match. Then we had a Don Gato segment where he's like out in the field and his boys are talking. Like, honestly, these are pretty much just advertisement at this point. It's not real canon to the show. So, get a little commercial break, come back to a Mystico interview. But before he could answer anything from the interviewer, Austin Aries interrupts and he says, "Oh, Mystico, you got sights on me? And while I went to Mexico, you weren't there. So next week I got a title match against someone you're very familiar with. But if you were in that match, I'd slap the mask off your face." So then Mystico, who I guess I kind of missed because he was speaking Spanish, but there was subtitles. But at the end of the day, he said he wants in on the title match, want to make it a triple threat. So the interviewer says, "Oh, do you need that translated?" And he says, "Look, I just translated that with Google Translate. I know you want a triple threat, so you got it." And that ends the segment. That changes the match for next week, which that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for that one. Then here is the lone women's representation for MLW, and it's highlights from Zamaya, who we haven't seen in weeks. So, definitely not a good week for a woman in the independents. I'm going to say this, NWA, MLW, I'm going to also call out AEW a bit. Let's get some more women's representation on the show. Let's get some more women's feuds going. So, moving on from that, we got announced that Trevor Lee is defending his Southern Crown title against Kushida next week. That should be a fun one. Then we get a very quick interview from the Good Brothers saying, "I don't care who's going to be the tag team tonight against us. Could be Bishop and Dwyer, could be Dwyer and Dijak, could be Dijak and Bishop. It doesn't matter. Tonight is going to be our night." And then Doc brings in CJ saying how proud of he is making his debut. But tonight we're going to become 9-time tag team champions, finishing it off with the MLW tag team titles. So, nice, easy, kind of easy promo. Gallows talks fast, not going to lie. So then we get a card rundown for next week, and that card looks absolutely amazing. Then we get like a dossier of Joseph Samayo's history with Contra, including showing footage of him managing Jacob Fatu, which I am glad they recognized that history and not ignoring it. Leading up to his return, I want to say it was 2 weeks ago. So, this is definitely going to be an interesting showcase. And then we got our main event, a Tennessee Tornado match, in which that's just fun to say. Which basically means no rules. It's the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. Good Brothers. Taking on the Skyscrapers, and it is they are being represented by Donovan Dijak and Bishop Dwyer, aka current United States champion Baron Corbin. Yeah, that's how out of sync MLW is right now. But this match was a hoot and a half. And it wasn't just a wrestling match. It felt like a gigantic fight. They used every weapon they could think of. Besides the kitchen sink. I don't think they would have used that. One point, the Skyscrapers had Anderson up for a DVD moonsault combination, but Gallows saves Anderson with a chair shot to Dijak, who was on the top rope. Hits him with a chair. He falls down through a table sitting ringside. Then Gallows gets in. He has some trash can lids. A couple of shots to him. Carl Anderson with big old cutter. Then they hit the Magic Killer to pick up the win and the titles. So new MLW Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers. And as the brothers are celebrating, out comes CJ to help them celebrate. So, yeah, definitely a very interesting episode of Fusion. Starting off with a battle royal was honestly, that battle royal was a little boring, but I think the right guy won. And it does look like this is going to be our last showing of Bishop Dwyer in MLW because, well, he's in the WWE now. Or should I say, back in the WWE now. So, yeah, that'll do it for me today. Coming very obviously on Friday is going to be AEW Dynamite and TNA Impact, unless there's some plans I don't know about, which, doubtful. So, yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Till next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.